You know, every farmer, every single gardener, we all face the same fundamental challenge, right? How do you take a tiny seed and help it reach its absolute full potential? Well, today we're going to dive into a pretty powerful tool that works from the ground up.
Think about it. From a little seedling just breaking through the dirt to a big, mature plant ready for harvest, every single stage has its own hurdles. So how can we give that plant the support it needs through its entire life to get the best possible results?
So here's our game plan for this explainer. We're going to start with a new boost for growth, then we'll get into the science of what makes soil healthy. After that, we'll look at some results you can actually see, put a special focus on sugarcane, and then we'll wrap up with how to apply it and the right dosage.
Okay, let's jump right in. Section 1, a new boost for growth. We're talking about a new tool for today's agriculture that really gets to the heart of that question we just asked.
And here it is. What you're looking at is a concentrated liquid fertilizer that's completely water-soluble. It comes packaged up, and when you mix it with water, bam, it turns into this really rich, dark liquid.
So what's actually in this stuff? Well, it's got the classic essentials every plant is hungry for: nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. You know, NPK. But it also has a secret weapon, an ingredient that makes all the difference: humic acid.
All right, let's get a little nerdy and break down the specs. The really important thing to see here is the efficacy. It's not just about feeding the plant, it's designed to improve the quality of your crop and make it more resistant. You've got a solid NPK content of 200 grams per liter, plus that all-important humic acid, clocking in at 30 grams per liter.
So that leads us to Section 2, the science of healthy soil. Okay, so how does this stuff actually do its magic? Let's take a look, because it all starts with the soil itself.
The star of the show here is humic acid. The best way to think of it is like the lifeblood of healthy soil. It's a natural part of humus, that rich, dark, organic stuff that makes soil so fertile. Its whole job in nature is to grab onto nutrients and improve the soil's structure, creating the perfect home for plants to grow.
So it works in 3 amazing ways. First, it makes the soil structure better by encouraging all those good microorganisms. Second, it gives a direct boost to the crop's quality. But third, and this is so important for the long run, it helps the plant absorb more nutrients. That means less fertilizer gets wasted and its effects last way longer. You're building a more efficient system for seasons to come.
And this picture says it all, doesn't it? The magic really starts by promoting faster, thicker, stronger root growth. A healthy root system is everything. That strong foundation makes the whole plant healthier and tougher against stresses like cold, drought, or disease.
Okay, the science is cool, but you know what they say: seeing is believing. So what does this actually look like out in the field? Let's compare some crops.
I mean, just look at the difference in this cabbage field. It's night and day. The treated crops on the left are so much bigger, greener, and just healthier looking than the ones on the right before they used it.
And this whole process starts super early. Even with these little pepper seedlings, you can already see the one that was treated has a more developed root system and just looks more robust overall.
And this right here, this is the crucial part. Take a look at the base of these celery plants. The control group on the left, it has a decent root system, sure, but the one treated with potassium humate, whoa, it has this huge complex root mass. That is the engine that pulls in all the nutrients.
All right, now for our deep dive. Let's take all these principles and see how they apply to a major global crop, sugarcane.
So why are we focusing on sugarcane? Well, it's almost like this fertilizer was custom made for it. Sugarcane absolutely needs a deep root system. It's super hungry for N, P, and K, and it can be vulnerable to drought. Plus, since it's often grown for multiple seasons from the same roots, that's called ratatouning, the long-term health of the soil is just critical. Hey, remember those incredible celery roots we just saw? Now imagine that on a much bigger scale for a tall plant like sugarcane. It needs a deep, strong root system to act as an anchor so it doesn't fall over, and to suck up all the nutrients it needs. This fertilizer is designed to build exactly that.
So, what does all this mean for the final product? The sugar? Well, the humic acid acts as a biostimulant. It's a fancy word, but it just means it helps the plant help itself, making it fitter and more efficient. For sugarcane, this is huge. It means better photosynthesis and better water use, which directly helps the plant make and store more sugar. So you don't just get a bigger plant, you get a higher quality, higher yield harvest.
Okay, this all sounds great, but let's get practical. How do you actually get this stuff out into the field?
It's actually super easy. The recommended method is called flush application. That's just a way of saying you apply it right along with your irrigation water. This lets it spread out evenly and get carried right down to the roots, exactly where it needs to be.
And how much do you need? The general recommendation is about 5 to 10 kilograms per mu. If you're not familiar, a mu is just a unit of area they use in farming. You just do the math based on how big your field is.
And that really brings us to the big picture, doesn't it? Sure, this can give you a fantastic boost for a single harvest, but the real power, the long-term magic, is what it does for the soil itself. So it leaves us with a pretty important question to think about. How can we invest not just in this year's crop, but in the health and strength of our soil for all the seasons still to come?